Welcome. My name is Matt, aka RoadJedi88. We are getting into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Mods, Dark Trooper. Dark Trooper is from the Mandalorian series. According to Dr. Pershing, the reason why I'm getting one of these Dark Troopers is because of two features. One, it removed the flaw of Stormtroopers and Clone Troopers, and that was the equation of human, according to Dr. Pershing. And, of course, the other factor that Moff Gideon would point out is the Beskar alloyed steel, making them hard, almost impenetrable by an attack. Now, I'm not sure exactly what type of kyber crystal Luke's lightsaber was, but he clearly had no problem cutting through them in comparison to what Mando was using. Din Djarin. That was kind of an interesting factor, but my understanding is, I think, and I would have to go back to Shadows of the Empire book, Shadows of the Empire. Okay, I've seen a lot of first-time Return of the Jedi movie reactors on YouTube ask a lot of questions that, no joke, I'm not kidding, give this book a try. It literally answers all y'all's questions that y'all ask. And I don't mean to come off sounding like an a-hole, because I know there's a generational issue on this matter, but books do not bite. They educate. They kind of they medicate for the mind. That's one reason why I love books. Gives me a chance to be able to learn things, so I'm not running around asking rhetorical questions. If the answer is there, then I got eyes, I can use them. I got hands, I can flip a book and use my eyes. And like I said, don't mean to come off sounding like a a-hole, but my generation of Star Wars had no problem reading the books. That was the majority of Star Wars, was books. This book came out like late 80s, early 90s, 1980s, 1990s, somewhere in there. And this book literally answers every question that is asked in Return of the Jedi. One of them being, where did Luke get his lightsaber? He built it. He built his new lightsaber that we see him using in this book, and it explains how he built it. Now, it has been a little while since I've read it, so that's why I was saying, when he was able to tear through those Dark Troopers, he must have done something that modified his lightsaber to be a little bit stronger than even that dark saber to be able to cut through it, because Din Djarin, he was cutting away at the Dark Troopers. And he was like almost unable to, he wasn't even able to cut through him with that dark saber. And that dark saber was supposed to be strong. It was supposed to be like one of the strongest lightsabers out there. One theory I have heard, but again, it doesn't have to be theory. You can just go back and read the book. And that's probably something I'm about to do. I've been recently rereading the Star Wars trilogy. I'm about to be done with The Emperor Strikes Back. Before I go into Return of the Jedi, as what I would recommend to all Star Wars book readers, when you get done with The Emperor Strikes Back, read Shadows of the Empire before going into the book Return of the Jedi, because it bridges that story. It tells the story of what happens in between. Everything. Except for the little backstory that we get from Mon Mothma in Return of the Jedi about how they got the plans for the second Death Star. Now, that is covered in a different book. I'm trying to remember. I know Return of the Jedi does cover a little bit of that backstory, but I'm trying to remember which book gets more detailed into it. But Dark Troopers, they have the Beskar alloyed metal on them, and that dark saber and that Beskar spear, Mando had to thrust right up in his throat just to break it, just to break one of them. It made him really work at it. But we saw Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian; he had no trouble tearing through them. with his lightsaber. So he did, however he built his lightsaber in Shadows of the Empire, it was a modification that he did. Shadows of the Empire is a story that bridges between The Emperor Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It also answers the question that I hear a lot from first-time Return of the Jedi movie reactors. Where did Luke get this lightsaber from? It answers a bunch of other questions that literally every question I hear from the first-time Return of the Jedi movie reactors, Shadows of the Empire literally answers almost every question they ever ask. And, you know, opening a book does not bite. It actually educates. Dark Trooper, you can go back to the beginning of my first playlist. The first video, where I definitively define the definition of each types of attackers as well as the different types of mods. And swgoh.gg, which is a website you can go to check out what mod recommendations I make. They did recommend modding Dark Trooper with offense and health. Okay, so an attacker is someone who's going to fight. They're not just a leader. They're definitely not a leader in most cases. They can. And it's not saying that they couldn't. But most of the time, they're kind of like the grunts of the squad. In this case, putting offense and health, well, the health is kind of protecting them. And also, you know, for the purpose of why Moff Gideon wanted them, or even utilized them, he was hoping they would save his life. So we basically have cross-trained the Dark Trooper from being just an attacker to attacking like a tank with the offense and the health. That's basically what we are doing with these mods. We're cross-training Dark Trooper to be an attacker tank, or a tank attacker. It's protective and it's going to hit harder than what it already does. So, that is Dark Trooper. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And thank you for following. May the Force be with you.